Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever looked at the awesome AI images you're making and thought, man, I wish I could make some money from this? Well, guess what? You totally can, and Adobe Stock is one of the best places to do it. So in this explainer, we are going to break down the entire process, from that first spark of an idea all the way to upload.
So, are you ready to jump in and start selling? I bet you are, but hold on. Before you even think about generating a single image, there is one single rule you absolutely have to know.
And I'm not kidding here. Getting this wrong is the fastest way to get your account suspended before you even make your first dollar. We do not want that to happen. So let's nail this down first because it's the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
All right, let's get right into it. This first part is without a doubt the most important section. Understanding this is your key to staying safe and building a successful shop on the platform. And it really all boils down to two little words: commercial and editorial.
Okay, so first up is commercial use. Just think of it like this. These are the images that businesses use for stuff like ads, websites, maybe even on a coffee mug. When somebody buys a commercial license, they're not buying your art forever. They're just, renting the right to use it. And the big takeaway for you is that the AI tool you use has to give you the green light for commercial use. And then you've got the other side of the coin, editorial use. These are pictures for things like news articles, documentaries, or school textbooks. Stuff that's reporting on real-world events. That's why they can have real people, logos, or even private property in them.
And here it is, the most important rule of all. Pay attention to this one. Adobe Stock does not, I repeat, does not accept AI-generated images for editorial use, especially if you're a new seller. If you try to upload an AI image of, say, a fake protest or some made-up news event, bam, that's a super fast way to get your account flagged or shut down. So remember, all of your AI art must be for commercial use, period.
Okay, deep breath. We got the heavy rule stuff out of the way. Now for the fun part. How do we figure out what kind of art people are actually buying? Because let's be real, you don't want to just throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. You want to create stuff people are already looking for. So, how do you find these little gold mines? It's actually a pretty simple three-step recipe. First, fire up ChatGPT and just ask it for some popular, best-selling categories. Easy, right? Next, you're going to play detective right on Adobe Stock. Search for top-selling artists and then use that generative AI filter to see what's hot right now. And finally, keep an eye on what's buzzing on Google Trends or Twitter. That's where you find those timely ideas. And you know what? After a little digging, you're probably going to see these same categories pop up again and again. Things like abstract backgrounds and graphic elements are absolute winners. Why? Because they're super versatile. A graphic designer can just drop one in the background of a website and it adds some flair without being distracting. Oh, and never, ever sleep on simple PNG objects with no background. Think little icons or a picture of a coffee cup. Designers love these for making quick mock-ups.
Awesome. So you've got your killer idea, but how do you actually tell the AI what's in your head? How do you get it to create that perfect image? Well, my friend, this is where you put on your wizard hat and become a prompt alchemist.
And look, you don't have to guess or struggle with your prompts. Just use ChatGPT as your creative partner. It's a game changer. Here's what you do. First, ask it for some smaller sub-niches inside your big idea. This helps you focus. Then, ask it to describe the typical colors, lighting, and styles you'd see in that niche. And for the final magic trick, ask it to mix all that info together and whip up 10 super detailed prompts for you. It's that easy. And check this out. This is what that process spits out. See how it doesn't just say a doctor's office? No way. It gets specific. It talks about a serene atmosphere, soft, natural lighting, and even a calming color palette. That level of detail right there is the secret sauce that separates a so-so image from a bestseller. All right, things are moving. You've got the idea. You've got this beautifully crafted prompt. Now it's time to pick your weapon of choice, your digital paintbrush, the AI tool that's going to bring this whole thing to life. Now, there are a ton of options out there, but honestly, these three are a fantastic place to start. Leonardo.ai is amazing for beginners. It can do a bit of everything and has a really solid free plan. Then you have Ideogram, which is kind of a specialist. It's really good if you need to put words or text in your images. And then there's Midjourney. If you're ready to spend a little cash, Midjourney is pretty much the king of the hill when it comes to pure jaw-dropping image quality. Okay, everybody, lean in for a second. This is just as critical as that commercial versus editorial rule. You see how all these tools have a public gallery? You can look, but don't touch. Never, and I mean never, download someone else's image from that gallery and try to sell it. The rights belong to the person who made it, not you. You can only sell what you, yourself, generate. Trying to cheat this system will get your account shut down. No questions asked. Don't do it. And hey, here's another little tip to keep you out of trouble. You know how when you generate a prompt, it often gives you 4 images at once? Well, don't just upload all 4 of them, especially if they look almost the same. Adobe might see that as spam. Just pick the best 1 or 2. Or, if they're different enough, you can even package them together as a set.
Okay, we are so close. We're on the home stretch. You've learned the rules, you found a niche, you wrote an amazing prompt, and you've generated a gorgeous image. But there is one last, crucial, absolutely non-negotiable step you have to take before you hit that upload button.
And that final step is all about one number: 4 megapixels. Now, don't let the techie term scare you. All it means is a measure of the image's size and detail. For a simple square photo, that's about 2,000 pixels by 2,000 pixels. That's the bare minimum Adobe Stock will even look at. And here's the catch. Most AI tools, especially the free ones, make images that are smaller than that.
And that is exactly why you have to upscale your images. Now, I'm not talking about just stretching it bigger in Photoshop. That makes it look blurry and terrible. I'm talking about using an AI upscaler. These tools are magic. They use AI to intelligently add detail, making the image bigger and sharper. It turns your standard AI-generated image into a pro-level file that's ready to sell.
And of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging. Here are some great tools to get that upscaling done. Topaz Photo AI is a paid tool, but man, it's the best if you're doing a bunch of images at once. If you're looking for a free option, there's a downloadable program called Upscale that works really well. And if you just need something quick and easy in your web browser, check out Krea.ai. It has a free enhancer that's pretty amazing. And just like that, we've covered the whole journey. Let's recap. It's a simple 5-step workflow. First, you know the rules. Commercial, not editorial. Second, you find your niche. Third, you craft your perfect prompt. Fourth, you generate your image with a good tool. And fifth, you upscale to perfection to meet those quality standards. That's the whole playbook. So there you go. You now have the complete map, the step-by-step guide to take your AI art and turn it into a real, potential income stream on Adobe Stock. The path is laid out, the tools are ready and waiting, so the only question left is, what masterpiece are you going to create first?